What's up, guys? Oh my gosh, it has been so long. I don't even know what to say. I'm just so sorry for disappearing like that. I did just film a vlog that's gonna be up on my separate vlog channel though, kind of explaining where I went, where I disappeared to, what I've been up to. So I'm not gonna be talking about it in this video just because, I don't know, I just feel like that belongs on my vlog channel. So I will link my separate channel down below if you wanna go check that video out. It's kind of weird to be filming this video just because I haven't even bought makeup in I'd say 4 months, and it's so strange for me to not buy makeup. So I'm just gonna get into the makeup, and I kind of put everything together in their own category. Also, I did want to say one more thing too. I did try and focus on things that actually launched this year. So I'm trying not to mention anything that is my favorite but didn't come out in 2018 except for a couple things. Some of the things that might just be new to me, but everything that I mentioned in my last year's Best of Beauty video is all still my favorite. I love all that stuff in there. But anyway, so the first thing I want to talk about is the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. I don't even know when this came out. I've had it for a while, but I just recently started using it a lot. I actually won't even do my makeup without this. And I think this year is the year that I've noticed that my skin is starting to age, and I hate it, but what can you do about it? So my pores on my cheeks are just large and in charge lately. I've had a lot of texture, and this has helped so much. It's just a really thick kind of putty-like primer, and you only need a little tiny bit. I put it on my fingers, and then I just press it into my pores right here, and it makes my skin look so soft. It evens everything out. I will not do a full face of makeup without using that. It just never looks the same anymore. Another primer that I became obsessed with this year is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. It just hydrates my skin so much. It makes it look super plump and supple, and it makes my foundation go on so smoothly. It smells amazing, and it's not greasy feeling at all. It's oil free, so it doesn't break me out, and it doesn't make me any more oily throughout the day. It also helps so much too if I'm wearing a really matte foundation to put that underneath it, because then it won't be so matte or cling to dry patches and look cakey and cracked. It makes a huge difference, so I'm obsessed with that. Sorry, my boyfriend just texted me and it totally distracted me. We're watching that new show. I don't even know if it's new actually, but it's called You with Penn Badgley on Netflix, and we're like hooked on it. And he's texting me about it right now. Of course, he's watching it without me. Another thing that I was really liking during the summer more is this Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is a long name. For a Superstar Youth Glow. I was really confused about this product when it first came out. I didn't know if it was a foundation, a liquid highlighter, and they only have a few shades of it, so I figured it couldn't be a foundation. But basically what I did with this was I would either do my primer and then put this on right here on my cheek area where I want it to be more glowy and like under my eyes, and then I would put my foundation over top of it, or I would do my foundation first and then dot this around on my cheek area and then blend it out, and it gives you the most beautiful glow to the skin, and it's so natural looking. It doesn't enhance my texture. It's not chunky and glittery. It's just a very smooth, wet looking, dewy look, and it just makes your skin look so healthy. I have the shade 2 Light Clair, by the way. I would even wear this by itself too without any foundation or powder or anything. Of course, you guys know I am oily, so it doesn't last very long, but if I was just running out of the house and I wanted a little bit of a glow to my skin, I would use that, and it just looks amazing. So move on to foundations now. I only have 2 foundations up here, and one of them I think launched last year, but it's still my all-time favorite. I don't think I will ever stop loving this. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. I use the shade Nude. It's a medium coverage foundation. I've kind of been ditching my full coverage foundations lately. I don't know, it's just my skin is a lot different than it was a year ago, and I feel like medium coverage just suits my skin a little bit better lately. I have a lot of texture, big pores, oily, and when I get oily and I'm wearing a full coverage foundation and it starts breaking up, it looks even worse. So I've really just been using a medium coverage and sometimes light coverage foundations. It is the most transfer resistant foundation I have ever tried in my life. This is the foundation that I wear when I go out at night, or if I just need to have my makeup on for a long period of time. I will always go to this, and if I do want something more full coverage, I'll always mix this in with something. I actually think I mix this in with everything, no matter what foundation I use. And then another foundation that I have been loving, this is the Revlon Color Stay Full Cover Foundation. I tried this out in one of my foundation wear tests. It has such a different consistency. It reminds me a lot of the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation. It's more of a whipped consistency, and it just makes your skin look super soft. I never get oily in this. It doesn't break up on me. It's definitely not as transfer resistant as the Too Faced one, but it still will be on my skin for 8 hours and look totally fine without rubbing off. And I mean, it's only like $8, so this love. Now I have two concealers, and you guys already know Tarte Shape Tape is my favorite concealer. I still use it basically every day, but I do have two new ones that I've introduced into my routine. This is the Nars Soft Matte Creamy Concealer. I use this for three different things actually. So I use this every day to carve out the bottoms of my eyebrows. I have the shade Light 2.5 Creme Brûlée in this. Oh, by the way, I have the shade 200 Nude in the Revlon one. But for this one, I love using it underneath my eyebrows. I also like to use this for spot concealing. It's super full coverage, so it works really well for that. If I have a pimple, I will just put it on before I do my foundation. It also looks so pretty underneath the eyes. It just has a really nice like blurring effect, and it looks so soft because it's matte. I'll just pounce my beauty blender in here and then go straight in underneath my eyes, and it works really, really good. And then the other concealer I've really been liking is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I have the shade Porcelain in this. I did not think I was gonna like this concealer because I hated the Born This Way foundation on my skin. So I didn't think I was gonna like this at all, but I actually love this. It says it's full coverage, but it's definitely not as full coverage as the Tarte Shape Tape. It's much more natural looking, I would say, and it feels a lot more weightless. It just feels very light on the skin, and it's just a beautiful concealer. I've been loving that for the winter months when my skin is a little bit more dry. Sometimes Tarte Shape Tape can just look a little bit too dry on my skin, and that's when I'll use this when I know I'm having a dry day. And I hope I'm not confusing guys when I keep saying I have oily skin, then I have dry skin, but my skin is all over the place. My skin is oily, but I do get dry patches around my chin, and my under eyes get pretty dry. It's just a mess. There's a lot to work with on my face, so I do switch up my makeup routine a lot just depending on what my skin looks like that day. Now let's move on to powders. I have 5 powders. Okay, I'll just get this one out of the way quick. This is the Fenty Beauty blotting powder. I carry this with me everywhere, especially if I know I'm gonna have my makeup on for a long time. When I do start getting oily, this is such a good blotting powder. I will just either use my beauty blender that I bring along or even a brush. Anything really works. And it just soaks up all of your oils and it makes your makeup look brand new basically. Another powder that I have been loving, this has actually taken my MAC Studio Fix powder's place. This is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Powder. I have the shade 710 Classic Ivory in this. It's a more full coverage powder, which I usually don't use, but sometimes I just don't have time to do a full face of makeup, and that's when this has come in handy. I will just use like a pump of this, spread it around my face, and then I'll set my entire face with this. So I won't use concealer, I won't use a loose setting powder, I will just use this, and it adds a ton of coverage. It makes my face look super soft. It holds up really well. I love using it on more natural makeup days. I'll even just use that alone, and it makes such a huge difference. Next powder I have is something that completely changed my life. It's a little dramatic. I use this every single time I do my makeup. If I don't, I feel incomplete. This is the Lancome Absolute powder. I have the shade Absolute Pearl in this. I do need to get a darker shade in this though. It's so hard to get. I actually had to order this on Macy's, I believe. You would think that this would be a setting powder for your whole face, which you totally can use it as that, but it has these little tiny little flecks of shimmer powders in here. You can use it as a highlighter if you have more textured skin and you want more of a subtle highlighter. I used to go crazy with this and put it all over my face, and then I was like, okay, I'm going a little bit too overboard now. I don't want to look oily. But I've definitely used this as a highlighter on its own. But what I like to do with this is I take a really, really light, fluffy brush. I'll just pick up a tiny, tiny little bit of it and I'll brush it over right here on the apples of my cheeks. I have a lot of texture on my face, and I could never put highlighter on the apples of my cheeks because it would just look so bad. It would just enhance all my texture, and it looked horrible. But with this, what I've been doing is putting my normal highlight up here and just kind of blend it into that. And I've never been able to get sorry, I was just flicking off. I've never been able to get that pretty glow on the apples of my cheeks just because it never looked good on me. But with this powder, it seriously looks so pretty. I highly, highly recommend this if you're looking for a more subtle glow on your cheeks. The next powder is something that I didn't realize how much I needed this until I ran out of it one day. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Matte Setting Powder. If I don't use that setting powder, 99% of the time will get oily in my foundation. Even this one, which controls my oil more than any other foundation, this seriously makes the biggest difference in every foundation I've ever used. I can use a dewy foundation that will normally make me really oily, set it with this, and it will lock my oils in and keep them at bay for so long. And it just makes my skin look so, so soft. It also smells and tastes amazing. Not that I try to eat it, but I mean, it's so finely milled that it kind of just flies all over the place when I use it, and it's bound to end up in my mouth, and it tastes super good. Okay, now we have some more fun stuff to talk about. I have my highlighters up here. I have 5 up here. The first one I'm going to talk about just quickly is MAC Soft and Gentle. I use this nonstop. I'm pretty sure I use this in every single Instagram picture I posted for a good 2 months. You guys are probably getting sick of it. It's such a beautiful highlighter. It's baked, so it doesn't enhance my texture. I think that's the main thing I love about it, is just that it does not enhance my texture at all. It looks so smooth on the skin, and it's just a really nice color. Now, something that launched this year that is just so beautiful. This is the Anastasia and Amrezy highlighter. This is what she looks like. This is my favorite highlighter to use when I'm tanned. I am wearing it today and I'm not that tan, but sometimes if I'm a little bit too fair, there will be a little bit of a cast on my skin. So I really just like to use this because it's so golden when I am a little bit darker, but I've never seen a powder highlighter look this wet on the skin. I'll swatch the MAC one too next to it. The MAC has more of a kind of a champagne-y, a little bit of a pinker undertone to it. This one is definitely a lot more golden. The next thing that I don't see anybody ever talking about this, but I really like this. This is the Glam Glow highlighting palette. For one, it smells amazing. It smells like, I think they're called creamsicles or maybe dreamsicles. It smells exactly like that. It smells amazing. And they're super, super powdery. You only need a tiny, tiny bit. That is what they look like. So this one, again, has a little bit more of a pink shift, and it's really, really icy. It's so pretty. And then this is the gold one. This one is a little bit more pigmented than the Amrezy one, but that's just because it's not pressed as hard. Another one that I've been liking a lot is this Star Island highlighter by Ofra. This is another one that I love to wear when I'm a little bit more on the fair side. It's very, very blinding, super, super soft too. This is something I was gonna mention too. This is by Milani. I used to use this a ton in my videos a few months back, but this could kind of be like a dupe for this palette. These two shades right here, yeah, they look exactly like. Let me swatch them next to each other. I love this though. I am obsessed with this shade especially, but I really like to mix these two together. It just gives you the prettiest shade. They don't enhance my texture. They're super blinding, very metallic, very wet looking. Look at that. Oh, this one is my favorite. It's so pretty. That one right there puts the rest of these highlighters to shame. And this was, I think, $10 for this. Okay, now I have one more thing that's in the highlighter category, but this, I don't put this on my face, I put this on my body. It's called Ipanema. I really hope I'm saying that right because I completely butchered it in my Sephora haul. I think I said Ipanema. Anyways, moving on. This stuff is amazing. I know a lot of people like the Fenty Beauty Body Lava, I think it was called, and I hated that. I tried it one time, instantly gave it away. I couldn't even wear it again. It was so sticky. You guys know I have a million dogs, so you can just imagine me putting this on before I'm about to go out, walking around the house, and I just have dog hair stuck all over me. It felt so gross. It didn't dry down, so it just stayed like that the whole night, and you can just touch me and just, ugh, it felt so gross. So when I found this, I was hooked. But I literally would bathe in this over the summer. I put it all over my legs, my shoulders, my collarbone. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about some blushes. I have this Morphe blush palette. This is in the shade 8W. I have both of these blush kits and I like them both equally, but I definitely use this one a little bit more. It's just so nice having so many different options. If I feel like having a matte blush shade, I can use a matte blush. If I feel like having a little bit of shimmer, I can do shimmer. It's perfect because I'm constantly getting spray tans and then letting them fade and being super fair and then being really tan. So it's really nice to have something like this. I so wish I was still on their PR list because they've been coming out with so many cute and fun new things, but I never know about it anymore because I don't really use social media and I never go in the store and look at new makeup. So yeah, but anyways, the next blush that I absolutely love, and this one looks a little bit like one of these in here, but this is by the Ulta Beauty brand. I think this is the only thing I've ever bought from the actual Ulta Beauty brand. I just always kind of skip over that section. I don't know why, but this one caught my eye one day and this blush never fails me. I'm actually wearing this one today. It's a really, really pretty light baby pink with a little bit of peachiness in there and a little bit of a gold shimmer in there. And it's really nice because it's buildable, so it's a little bit harder pressed. So you can put on just a little bit or you can build it up to be more pigmented. And I think it was only like $16, which is pretty good for a blush that's not from the drugstore. And yeah, it's beautiful. By the way, the shade is Calla Lily. Now this is something that kind of shocked me when I was going through things getting ready for this video because I feel like I spend the most money on eyeshadow palettes and foundations. And I only had 2 foundations to show you and 1 eyeshadow palette, which is weird because I feel like I buy so many eyeshadow palettes, but then I always just end up using this one or my big Z palette that I customized. But this is definitely my favorite eyeshadow palette that launched. I use this so much. This shade Mulberry right here is one of my all-time favorite shades I've ever used. This shade Sienna, beautiful. You have a white in here, a black in here, and it's just the perfect neutral palette. Now I will say I don't really care much about the shimmers in here. I don't really wear shimmer eyeshadows that much anyways. I do like the shade Glistening in here, but that's really the only shimmer shade that I would grab out of this one. I just really like it for the matte shades. I think they're stunning. They blend so easily. And then I have two more things for eyeshadow related things, and these are the Tarte Chrome paint pots. I have the shades Top Yacht and Sun Drenched. I do have all the other shades in these, but these ones are definitely my most used. Let me just swatch these for you. I just spilled Top Yacht everywhere, and Top Yacht is literally my favorite one. Okay, well, I just scooped most of it back in here. Probably not the most sanitary, but I really don't care. I'll swatch Sun Drenched first. So this is one thing I was gonna say too. When I got these originally, mine were really crumbly, and then I picked this one up separately a little bit later, and this one is like a gel almost. It's really nice and packed in there. And then all my other ones are really, really crumbly. It's just like a dry pigment. So I don't know if they're supposed to be crumbly or if they're supposed to be packed in there like this. No idea. Either way, both of them work great. Here is Sun Drenched. I love this one so much because it's a really nice copper brown, but it's not too dark. And then it also has a little bit of a red shift to it, like a red purple shift. Oh, it just looks so, so pretty. And then here is Top Yacht, which is definitely my most worn. Well, that was a horrible swatch. So this one is more of a beautiful champagne shade. But another thing that I love to do is actually mix these two together. It almost looks like rose gold. If you ever see me wearing a shimmer eyeshadow, it's most likely these. Then I have one bronzer that I basically only use this one and the other Marc Jacobs one that you guys see me wearing all the time. But this is the Marc Jacobs Tantastic. This became my favorite bronzer so quickly after the very first time I used it. This one and the other one, I forgot what the other one is, the shade name is called. I just like this one a little bit more just because it smells like coconuts. Now I know this is expensive and I didn't want to buy this originally just because of the price, but the pan size is huge. It's pretty hard pressed, so it takes forever to go through these. They literally last so long. They're the perfect shades. They add so much warmth to your skin without making you look orange. They're very, very blendable. It's impossible to get patchy bronzer with this. I honestly have hardly even used another bronzer since I've been using those ones. Okay, now I just have a few things left. I did want to mention this setting spray as well. This is the Cover FX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. Don't get confused with the Illuminating Setting Spray by Cover FX because I bought that one first. I was kind of iffy about it the first time I used it, and then I went outside and I had glitter all over my face, like big chunks of glitter in my eyelashes, my eyebrows, my hair. It did not look good. So I haven't used that one since then, but I picked up this one. And if you are looking for an actual dewy setting spray, this one reminds me a lot of the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, but that one actually breaks me out. So that's why I was looking for another dewy setting spray. And this one is beautiful. I love this one so much for the summer. Again, in the summer months, I love to look more dewy and glowy. So I haven't been using it as much in the winter, but if my skin is looking a little bit dry, a little bit too matte, I will just give a quick spritz down with this and it makes it look so pretty. It somehow gives you the illusion of having dewy skin without looking oily and without looking glittery. I don't know how they did it, but I love it. And then of course, when I don't want to look dewy, I use this one, my all-time favorite. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter. This setting spray definitely keeps my makeup on the longest out of any other setting spray. I do also really like the Morphe setting spray. That one reminds me a little bit more of this because it melts in the makeup and doesn't make your face look powdery or anything. So that one I do love if I don't want to look super dewy, but I don't want to look matte, if that makes sense. Now moving on to eyeliners quick. This is the Inglot AMC Gel Eyeliner. This is the best gel eyeliner I've ever used. It's so black, totally changed my eyeliner game. It stays on so long, doesn't smudge. I can cry and it'll stay in place. It's just perfect. I absolutely love this. And I use that with a Sigma E, I think it's 06. It makes wings so easy. Now, when I don't have time to do gel eyeliner, I just want to run out the door and do a quick wing. I have been really liking this. This is the Tarte Sex Kitten liner. It has a really nice felt tip point. I actually didn't used to like felt tip liners. I felt like they dried out really fast and they weren't really that black. I would either use liquid or gel. I really, really like this one. I also like the Stila one, but I feel like I just like the applicator on this better. But yeah, I've been really liking this one. And then of course, for my lower lash line, Marc Jacobs eyeliner. All day, every day. I don't think I'll ever find another eyeliner that is as black and long lasting as this one for my lower lash line. And then I also have a couple lip products. I don't have that many up here. I thought I was gonna have way more, but I couldn't find my 2 most used lipsticks, so I'm just gonna have to tell you about them. But the first things I wanna talk about are lip liners. These have been my favorite. I use this one the most out of anything. This is by Essence, and this one is in the shade 09 Going Steady. I should know that by now. This looks gorgeous under any type of pinky nude, any like mauve color. So pretty. It almost matches my sweatshirt. There was a period for like 6 months where I only use this. I would not even touch another lip liner. And the other 2 that I wear all the time are by ColourPop. These are the Lippy Pencils. This one's in the shade Boys Town, and this is what that one, I have to sharpen it, but I don't know where my sharpener is. This is gonna be a hard swatch. There we go. So that's what that one looks like. It's just a little bit lighter than this one, but it's still a little bit more cooler tone. Geez, I need to sharpen this one too, shoot. This one's in the shade BFF. This is the one that I'm wearing today. So it's kind of like this one that I just swatched. It's just a little bit more brown. And then the lipstick that I'm wearing right now is Anastasia Beverly Hills Honey. I use this all the time. It's one of the only matte lipsticks that isn't a liquid lipstick that actually lasts on my lips. It lasts so long, and without being super drying, it looks very soft. The other lipstick that I want to talk about is Tarte Salt Life, and I love wearing that over this Essence lip liner. It looks beautiful. I wish I had it up here to show you guys, but I think I lost it somewhere. Another liquid lipstick that I have been loving, and this is brand new. This is Kylie Cosmetics Kylie Matte Liquid Lipstick. It is the prettiest pinky nude. I absolutely love that shade. I've been wearing it nonstop along with her new lip liner. I should have brought that up here too, but the lip liner is a little bit darker than this, so it gives you a nice contoured ombre look, and it looks so pretty. Another lipstick I wear all the time is Trouble by Anastasia. This one matches my sweatshirt too. That's Trouble right there by Anastasia. Super pretty. And this one is 107 by Makeup Forever. This is a lipstick I love wearing when I want to have more of a grungy makeup look kind of day. As this video has went on, I'm getting like lower and lower in my chair. My posture is so bad. Oh my gosh, my tailbone literally hurts so bad I can't even sit up. All right, and that is everything for my best of 2018 makeup. I hope you guys liked this video. Again, I'm so sorry for just disappearing on you guys like that. I know I don't have to like explain myself or anything, but I just want to say thank you to anyone that is still here watching. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.